Okay, so do you expect everyone on the 53 except Elijah Campbell to be available Sunday?
Yes.
Also, question from Omar Kelly, who's doing a nice story on Darren Waller. He said, would I ask Mike McDaniel how much he thinks Darren Waller's journey in the NFL is an inspiration for people who struggle with addiction and are on a recovery journey?
Wow. That was a nice problem solving by Omar. I think it's Darren Waller represents a lot for a lot of people. I think you can his story of overcoming is the story of in all relative terms. People, you have to overcome things, and particularly in the game of football, perspective is always phenomenal. And I think I would encourage any and every person that's ever gone through any sort of life trauma to deep dive Darren Waller, because he does inspire football players, people that don't play football, what he's done with his life, the adversity that he used as an opportunity to grow, is inspiring to all, and shouldn't be overlooked.
And so, did Tyrell Dodson clear concussion protocol, or is he still in that?
So we are hopeful, and we're hopeful and confident that he will today, and if he does, then he'll be playing the game.
I'm curious, what was your initial evaluation of Dylan Gabriel? And obviously it's been a small sample size, but how has he looked through these two games?
He looks like he should be in there. I think that's an important thing to note, is that to look the part of a starting quarterback in the National Football League is extremely difficult, and even more so if you're a rookie. I think I look at it through the lens of he's showing it. He shows us what he's capable of, and certainly makes some very, very accurate throws to windows. And it's the team facing him. So for us this week, our job is to make him look like a rookie. What does that mean? That means 11 convicted players playing together and making it hard on him. But don't get it twisted. Just because he's a rookie doesn't mean he can't spin the ball, see the field, and take advantage of opportunities that you give him. So the main thing to me is don't allow him to get comfortable and find a new level of success at this level. He's already shown the ability to distribute the ball and do so accurately and on schedule and on time. So you have to disrupt him early and often.
The weather in Cleveland could involve some extreme rain, wind. How do you prepare for that, and how can that affect play calling and game script?
My philosophy is to make sure not to make the weather the opponent that the Browns are. So with weather, like case in point, last year when we were playing the Cleveland Browns all week, I can't remember if it was rain, sleet, snow, or hail, but there was a lot of things that were talked about during the week that didn't show up on Sunday. So I think for me, I prepare and kind of weave it into the conversation. Closer to the game, the night before the game, is when it's when the weather predictions are a little more accurate. We all know weather predictions are an inexact science, so I think you make the opponent the team you're playing, not the weather, and then as you get closer, you start talking about the details and fundamentals of what your plan will be when that's closer to reality. But until it is, you try to focus on the opponent and nothing else.
Mike,
You chose to receive after winning the coin toss against the Chargers. Was that a one-off or perhaps a signal of a change of
We shall
philosophy?
see, huh? I think, every game you're trying to, you have reasons for doing everything. I think I'm motivated to do whatever it takes for us to win a football game. There's certain times during the week I make that decision. Sometimes I make it the day of the game. Sometimes you guys don't even get to hear about that decision because we don't win the toss. So it's something that I think I planned to do times last year, times the year before that didn't work out. Then this year I'd planned to a couple times. And it's all case by case and how you feel you can determine the game early or try to defer and steal an extra possession by how you execute the end of half.
Was Jalen right?
I think he's doing well because he's accepted the challenge of game day. Game day actives are a lot of times don't have to do with your primary position, and the best thing that you can do is try to make sure that you can contribute in a multitude of ways, particularly on special teams. And I can tell he's been focused in the right direction because every week I give out a scout team player of the week for the 3 phases, and he was the special team scout team player of the week. So he's doing well because he's focused on the right things and doing everything he can to contribute on game day like everybody else.
Coach, in 2.5 games post the Tyreek Hill injury, you've had really no drop-off in offensive production. I'm curious, in your opinion, what role Jalen Waddle has played in the offense really sustaining its production post Tyreek Hill.
You have to be competitive greatness. You got to be your best when your best is required. I think Jalen Waddle is one of the major reasons that we've been able to uphold some offensive production. If not the biggest reason, he's close to one of the biggest because he was ready for the moment. He's been ready to receive not just targets, but it's timing of targets as well. And big moments, he's running his best routes, and that's what you need from your number one wide receiver. Like I've said, I've always kind of looked at him as a number one just by his skill set and his mindset. And I think the details of his game have been on point in the last couple of weeks, which we in the Dolphins need as a team and as an offense. But there's been a lot of guys that have contributed to that. That wasn't one man's role, and I think the guys are looking to take that another step and help it lead to a win.
You have a bunch of options, obviously, opposite Jalen. You've gone primarily with Nick so far, obviously Malik in the slot. Yes, Cedric is an option as well. Has Nick gotten the nod so far just because he's been here longest? Do you like his size? Is it something that you're evaluating every week? I know you evaluate everything every week. But, could we see more Cedric some weeks, et cetera?
No, it's a pointed question that's pertinent, because, as I look at it, I think I'm hoping that you'll see more reasons why we involve Nick and Malik. I think those guys have done a lot of off-ball productive things that have earned them the right to be featured in situations as the primary. I need to get him the ball, and get him involved. Our strength is the having a nucleus of skill that can all do various things and do it well. His physicality and what he can do in the run game, people have seen. But with the ball in his hands, I think we saw a little taste of that in the preseason game against Chicago. But him and Malik have been phenomenal, and I'm trying to get those guys the ball and involved more, as well as keeping everybody else at the top of their game. So important piece to our offense. And like we said before, it wasn't going to be one person that was going to replace a one of one, but we feel very good about the collection of players that can contribute, and the sum is the sum of the parts. We really feel like give us a chance to do what we want to do offensively. Sorry, I need to drink water.
Go ahead. While you do that, this is a time of year where there's a lot of trade rumors swirling. Do you ever feel the need to address that with players, to have those conversations if legitimate offers come in, or even if there's just a lot of outside speculation surrounding a particular player?
Yeah, it's tricky. Just for the record, all rumors about Miami Dolphins players are baseless currently. And that's unfortunate for. I personally, not just this year or for this team personally, I don't. It kind of this time of year kind of bothers me for the sake of the individual player that's having to answer questions about his long term journey or potential, or has his where he's playing questioned on rumors or thoughts of other people. We're focused on the Browns, and I try not to give legs to any of those rumors. But if I was an individual player, probably wouldn't be the greatest thing to hear. But fortunately for us, is we got a team of players focused on the Browns, and I won't let them stray from that focus. Is with really everything that I can possibly do.
Rookie quarterbacks, Gabriel in particular, love to find their tight end. They have two good ones in Fannin and Njoku. This defense has had a bit of trouble stopping the tight end. Just how do you plan to limit their involvement?
Well, I think it's rush time with coverage and guys taking the appropriate spot drops according to like the quarterback's footwork, the details of how you play your zones, minimize how many yards you get attacked in between those, and we got to be confident in our man calls as well. But the biggest thing is that they will, particularly with, as you said, rookie quarterbacks, they're trying to find completions. And so you need to make those difficult through pass rush and through contest of coverage, and then make them earn it down in, down out. And those two tight ends you're speaking of are talented players, and we know they're going to try to get them the ball. So we either have to take that option away or minimize the yards after catch, which I think is the most important thing when talking about how they get their tight ends the ball. Is they're trying to get them the ball and get them to run with it. And if you allow them to get a bunch of yards after catch, they will continue to do that same formula.
With Storm Duck expected to be available, as you said, how does he factor into the current quarterback dynamic?
I think the play that Sewell's had has been it keeps getting better and better every week he's here. So that will be earned. But Storm is a competitor of competitors. So I think it's a good problem to have. He's just making sure that he can compete consistently off the injury, and then he's just going to go after it, and we'll let the chips fall as they may. But I'm happy with anytime your team has a little depth to it, it makes the players that are on the field play their best with the the strength of having competition behind you. So I'm just happy to get another practice day with Storm on the field, and he'll find his way on it through good play, and that's all we're worried about.
So is it only between him and Sewell on that side, while it's Jack and Ethan on the other, or could they be what would you call it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the kind of how I handle most positions. You want to be very clear and very consistent with your players on having the best players play. We really have consistency with the relationships of our players to coaches, or coaches to the players, where they understand our intent is right. So we'll never just hand people jobs, and they guy goes out and Storm is the next whomever on the practice field. We're not going to deny that because of a preconceived basically declaration of starter. All competition is good competition. The best players will play, and I think if Storm shows us things that Jack can't do, then Storm will play. But that's up for players to decide, and he'll be involved, and we know he's part of the varsity, and we'll make sure that we have our best shot, whatever tandem that is of cornerbacks on the field come Sunday, and adjust from there.
Good.
Man,
Thanks.
Thank you.
drop the mic.